Well, hey everyone, Liz here, and I'm here with Kerry Medvecky, who's here going to talk about her life, her wonderful work, and she's going to explore and explain Marconics with us. I'm going to read her bio for us so you get to know her, and then we're going to get going. How you doing today, Kerry?
Oh, I'm fantastic. Thank you so much for having me. I love
Oh,
talking about Marconics.
that's beautiful. I hadn't heard about it till last week. So let me tell you a little bit about Kerry over here. So she's one of a small team of advanced Marconics practitioners trained as initiate teachers of the Marconics no-touch ascension healing protocol under the Marconics originator, Allison David Bird, and co-founder Lisa Wilson. Kerry has been well known as a board certified holistic registered nurse working in home hospice care. That's really great. That's so important. While offering a holistic practice in the past as a Reiki master, you're in good company with CHWE people. She has shown her commitment and dedication to be in service to others and to her
Mhm.
own personal journey. Yep, like a lot of us. As a Connecticut native and proud mother of four young men, she was guided by spirit to go out west and followed her heart to the mountains of Colorado, where she
Mm.
heard the clarion call and Marconics suddenly came into her life. As she had witnessed many miracles with Reiki, so have I, yes, yes, it was only natural to welcome this multidimensional, full spectrum Marconic energy into her practice. Carrie was fortunate to receive a spontaneous psychic surgery during her own Marconic quantum recalibration, which was only the beginning of the many transformations that would occur. Carrie is really passionate about sharing her story and this Marconic ascension energy with others who are also seeking a higher vibration as we ascend to the higher dimensions. But also, Carrie, you offer private sessions, correct? And you teach level one classes, which we'll get to all of that. And you teach in Colorado and Utah and Connecticut. And you give talks in
Correct.
other places. So let's get started. Carrie, why don't you give us a little brief bio on yourself?
Well, you just did that, didn't you?
Yeah, but tell me in your own words, though. Like,
I know.
yeah, tell me.
Yeah. Well, so honestly, yeah, I've been working with hospice patients as a nurse doing the home care thing and with Reiki, which is beautiful. I was that home care nurse that had the nursing bag with the tuning forks and the crystals and the essential oils. And I was, how could I raise their frequency using all the gadgets, the tools, and the spiritual energy. So that was really my mojo as a nurse. But eventually I kind of got to a point where I felt like none of this was really working anymore. Um, Partly for my growth, but I also noticed that even my clients weren't recognizing they weren't stepping up as they had maybe in the past, like 10 years ago. And I'm living in Boulder at the time, which is a very open, they're open to lots of different things. And suddenly I found myself in a Marconics lecture. I don't even remember how. And as soon as I heard those words, everything just lit up my heart and everything resonated. And I knew that was exactly where I needed to be. And I've always been led by my heart, and I don't really need to think much about things. So without any research, I got on the table and I had this quantum recalibration performed, not knowing what to expect. And sometimes I hesitate to tell my story because I don't want others to have expectations, right? This energy works differently for everyone. But I had a psychic surgery on the table. I came out of it no longer needing glasses for driving or reading. And I had just had surgery on my wrist to have metal taken out, which was healing nicely, but I still had a buckle in my hand, like I couldn't bend it fully. But during the session, I felt the energy, I felt the session, the psychic surgery. And when I came to, I could instantly have my yoga pose back. It was beautiful. And I was in bliss the whole time. So I'm like, what was that? Like, how do I do this for people? So eventually, pretty soon, suddenly I'm actually in class learning how to perform the protocols. And then a year later, I was able to learn how to join the team as a level one practitioner. So I have just continued to see amazing shifts with others in their own personal story.
So, Carrie, that's really interesting. Can you explain maybe why Marconics energy is so special? Why is it, say, different than something like Reiki?
Well, Reiki and a lot of those other modalities that we've been using prior to 2012 were designed for where we were at that time with our collective consciousness, the age of Pisces, and what our human body could tolerate at that time. In 2012, as we shifted into the age of Aquarius, there were new energies and frequencies available to us coming from the infrared system of space, which is where Marconics comes from. It's heralded actually the vehicle of ascension and the evolution of energy healing. So again, those modalities were designed for prior to 2012, working on our 3D light body. But as we're ascending, we need to upgrade the human vehicle so that we can survive and thrive in the fifth dimension. And Marconics was gifted to us by Spirit in 2013 to assist with this shift. Now it's an individual choice, and these protocols have come in to, again, assist with the light body shift. We're working with the Pleiadian Ascension Frequential of 144,000, and that's delivered in 2 protocols through our no-touch session and our quantum recalibration.
Okay, I'm going to jump in here. So it seems like what I'm hearing you say is that a lot of other energy modalities, which many of us have been trained in, like I think every other person in CHWE is a Reiki master, which is wonderful. It seems like those for such a time as before 2012 or so, and now these are new energies. So now, can you explain what a no touch healing session means? Like,
Yes.
how do those sessions go?
So as a practitioner, it's a quantum healing where as a practitioner, I actually act as a bridge between you and your higher future ascended self and your team. We're working above the space that we would have worked with in Reiki and some of these other modalities. So it facilitates a connection for you to connect with your higher self, get your own messages from your own team so you can be guided home on your path. I mean, who knows better than you what you need, right?
Right.
So once this frequency comes in and the channels are connected, then you find that you probably will find you no longer need outside assistance from guides and angels and the people who have been guiding you so far. But the no touch protocol will flood your axatonal system with this frequency and start to activate dormant spiritual DNA, chakras that have been laid dormant. And it just triggers immense clearings and the karma that can getting tripped up
Be
on my
present,
word.
the karma that we have, we collect and over
Right.
lifetimes. Yep.
Right. And clients definitely notice a shift, like feeling lighter and have a different perception of situations that they're in.
Yeah, I noticed, oh, sorry to interrupt you. I noticed that, I know I've done Reiki and I have a shamanic practice, and you're right. We were taught to kind of be closer in the closer astral planes of the body. And we work with the pendulum over the chakra systems in my shamanic system, and we were down low. And our teachers did take the pendulum up higher, like I've seen on some of the Marconic videos. But you're right. What you're saying is you're working in the high, kind of farther out from the body. And you're going to explain this in a minute, but eventually, our fields can expand even greater. Yeah.
Right. We
That's
are
great.
working on that multidimensional holographic body, the axatonal grid that you have, that then connects in to all your other parts.
Right. And can you explain the axiatonal just briefly? Is that the meridian system or what is, yeah, what is
Right. Well, I'm sure you've have a visual of the Earth's crystalline grid with the nodes and how they intersect with the meridian. So this is what your template is, your
Gotcha.
morphogenetic holding field, which keeps us in this form. So
Gotcha.
as you work
And
on clearing that multidimensional holographic body, you will notice the shifts on all levels: physical, emotional, spiritual, mental, the etheric bodies. We're kind of like restoring DNA back to where it was, where you had your 30-foot aura and 36 senses before we were capped into this auric field that we know of now.
right. So what do people, I know that I do agree with you that when you do this kind of work, you ask people not to have any expectations. The energy does what it does, and you don't go in, hey, I have knee pain, let's fix it. It's more like the kind of work I do with clients. It's more like what has to happen happens with the energy. But so, what do people tend to experience or might experience with a no-touch healing session?
Well, just to reiterate your point, it is important that we know that Marconics is not a healing modality. It is an ascension energy, and it's going to give you what you need coming from you to help you on your path. Some of the shifts that we've seen, I mean, I talked about my physical healing, but I've had clients who I had a client who took an anxiety pill every day since he was 16, and he was recalibrated and then just felt so light that he never needed that pill again. And that like really was instant. I've had sample sessions where I had an email come in the next morning where this gentleman went home who says he always goes home and has one drink. And he went home after his sample session and he didn't need it. So it just clears sometimes some of those things that are keeping us in that 3D, 4D space and gives you a lighter feeling, more clarity, more connection, more purpose.
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree.
Yeah,
I'm going
right.
to jump in here before you get to ask me. Is I had the free session with you, and then I have also had a no touch healing session with you. In full disclosure, everybody, but I can say that we did the 15-minute last week. I think on a Friday night. I don't remember Thursday night. And do you know over the weekend I told you about one, but I had a reconciliation with two friends that, we're just kind of pushing across my boundaries, and I just pushed them out because I don't need the nonsense, whatever. But they've come back being better, behaving better. And I got to behave better. So I had reconciliation of friendships. And I'm feeling, and even after the 15 and the no touch one that we did together, um, I I just feel like I'm just happy, more happy and content and whole and in flow, and I live life in flow anyway, but I feel like just the next right thing's happening, like, oh, I need to go get a this and I need to order that. I need to talk to him, her. So it's really lovely. And I'm not thinking, oh my gosh, I've had a Kundalini experience and I've ascended. It's like I've up leveled maybe by 8% or something.
Yeah.
It's very wild. I feel very mellow and
Mhm.
balanced and content and knowing that it's all going to be okay, and that this may sound heretical, but that I've already known this, but that we're gods, small g gods. Like I'm a god. I am the infinite. It's really, so that's, I want to share that. So
Yeah, that's and that those are common reports. We hear a lot of that.
yeah.
And you will sustain that. You're not going to
Nice.
slip back down. Like, and we say that each no touch healing that you have will continue to build on that. I mean, I had Reiki clients who would buy three, get one free package because they knew they would have to come back next week because they would slip right back down. But I noticed with this, like you have this sustained lift, and now you have another one and you're like up another little step. So it will continue to work with you.
Mm.
And then our second protocol is the quantum recalibration, where that is our permanent plug-in to this system, where your light body is altered and you're given the fifth dimensional template. We open up the chakras and clear out the karma and the density that's been in there, take you off the karma wheel and reconnect you through your axi-tonal system to the Earth's axi-B tonal system, and then to the cosmos, the axis C system. So now you're connected to the field of connectivity and you cannot accumulate karma anymore. And the clearing just continues as you have the channels connected to your higher self to keep you on the path.
Mhm.
So that's like our permanent, solution in a way and the ascension vehicle is needed to survive and thrive as we go into these higher frequencies.
Mm.
Um,
Yes, I think this probably is a common thing, but I feel like I'm not even worried about ascension at this moment. It'd be great. I'm more like, I'm supposed to do this. I don't need to ask, right? So I'm in this space right now, but it's really nice. It just came quickly, like, oh, and you explained the same thing. That it's just, oh, I'm supposed to do this. And, oh, let me find out about it now. So,
Well, and it's really hard to encompass like the whole scope of Marconics in a 15-minute interview. So I hope I'm doing it justice. But there's so many
oh,
other
that's
ways
great.
we can learn. You can learn about it. And again, we have our website, and there's a lot of information there. There's some books online you can purchase. I have a couple there. They give us the history of how Marconics came to be. But a lot the practitioners and the teachers do offer 20-minute discovery calls with a complimentary sample session. So you can just feel this energy and have it resonate with you the way it does before you really even need to go any further.
Right.
We ask you to just drop in your heart, turn off the mind for a little bit, and
Mhm.
be open to the possibilities of what the energy will do for you. And your story will most likely be different than someone else's. And that's the beauty of it too, right? It's all designed by your higher self, what's going
Right.
to come in.
A quick side question. Is this the only way we can ascend, you think?
Oh, that's a tough one.
Because,
We have to continue to do the work, right?
mhm.
But Marconics is heralded the vehicle of ascension. And we do make bold statements, and we stand by them, where we are giving you the fifth dimensional light body template that you need to survive and thrive. The quantum Merkaba is altered to the double octahedron shape. So now you can hold more light and you have a higher spin rate, and you can go higher and faster. So your astral travel gets quite interesting after
Mm.
recalibration. And we have designated pathways on our timeline for
Love it.
ascension. It
It's
can no
fascinating.
longer be interfered with the opposition.
Hmm.
Uh,
No, I
the
find it really
opposition is out
fascinating. I
there.
think it's great. This is why you offered to be interviewed, and we talked, and I did the free 15 minutes. And I just find this all very powerful and intriguing. And I too, in the shamanic work I do and the Reiki work I do, I just throw Reiki on top of everything else now. I do
Well,
find it a very gentle, easy energy, but I never found it to be as impactful as I wanted it. And I learned it in 2013 or 14, actually, when you all were doing other things, or
right.
at least Allison was. And I was looking for something a little more powerful. I'm not saying Marconics, I'm going to be healing people. Like you said, that's an important distinction, folks, is that this is not a healing modality, it's an ascension modality.
Correct.
But Source will do what it needs with you. Your higher mind, your higher self will do what it needs if you enter this work with an open mind, is what I'm hearing, right?
Right.
Great.
And
So,
then
Karen,
there's science and physics behind it. I mean, Tesla, Marconi, right? Counterparts working with the free energy in space, the infrared system of space. They could harness it, radio astronomy, right? I mean, it all ties into that together, albeit
exactly.
being
I find that
spiritual
interesting. So you think,
as
so do
well.
you recommend people take a look at the work of Marconi?
Yeah,
People know about Tesla. Yeah.
absolutely.
Mhm.
Yep.
Yep, because and everything's frequency. I mean, those, working with the AI technology out there, there's so many right? The machines are out there. They're harnessing it also. We don't need the machines. Um,
Right. Right.
yeah,
I was telling this to somebody else. I know on CHWE we sometimes offer helps with frequency machines like the Skio, Genius, biofeedback. But like I've
yeah,
told Kelly, like, we are our own frequency machines too. So one can do it, and it's great to get the helps if we want them, and it's great to do it on
yeah.
our own as we feel ready, right?
Well, you'll find you don't need these 3D tools anymore. The laser, the infrared light. Marconics is full spectrum. And, again, before our bodies couldn't take the full spectrum. So we were given Reiki, which is a piece of it. The infrared light, Saint Germain's purple violet flame are all pieces of this full spectrum energy that we are working with Marconics. So when you bring that in, you don't need all these other things. And you even look at crystals differently. I love my crystals, and they're beautiful, and like they got me to where I am now, but I don't use them for healing anymore because my vibration is higher than what they can offer. as we
Interesting.
used to
Yeah.
use with crystal healing. Does that make
So,
sense?
yeah. Do you find when
So,
people after sessions, I know the answer, I feel like that people, some things, people and items and stuff drops away, or you just change out your people or your stuff after
yeah,
this?
I mean, so as we ascend, right, you can't take the things with you that are weighing you down. And sometimes it's the relationship and you don't realize it. Sometimes it's the job and now you have the muster to like leave that job, and then the new one comes in that is really for you. But I mean, I've yep. It was coincidental. Marconics came in while I had 4 boys and 4 cats and a dog and a 5-bedroom house living with me. And that coincidentally was the year they all left, as now I'm an empty nester. And I've downsized to the minimalist lifestyle, and it's fantastic. It's freeing, right?
Mhm. I
We
hear
have
you. I think it's
two
fabulous.
analogies with Marconics that are so important. Like it's that hot air balloon, right? And that ballast is weighing you down. And once you can cut that, and you're free and that you can fly high, right? Um, and then the other one is like the life jacket analogy, where obviously Marconics can't do the work for you, but it certainly can help. And it's like it's the life jacket. If you're drowning, we can give you the life jacket with the protocols, but you still have to take it, put it on, utilize it, right?
Do the inspired action as a result,
Exactly.
stuff like that.
Exactly.
Well, Carrie,
So,
where do you hope to take this work? Like, what do you see for the world or for your own work out there in the world for the restoration?
well, I mean, I'm on the team. I'm not, it's not just me. There is a team of us throughout, actually international, and we're just getting the message out and wanting to get the energy to those who are called to it, those who are ready to hear the clarion call, we say
Mhm.
often. Um, it's doing our part with the shift into 5D to bring this planet to light. That's why we're here. It's also a reclamation mission to the lost souls of Atlantis, those of us who were stuck here in that time frame, and we've been here many, many lifetimes. This is the way home, in a way.
Yeah, I used to share a meme with some of my friends saying, due to personal reasons, I will not be reincarnating on Earth as a joke because a lot of systems and modalities talk about getting like, don't go into the tunnel of light. You want to actually go up higher. You don't want to go to that first heaven, oh, hi, Aunt Mabel, as they welcome you after you croak, right? So the Bob Monroe Gateway system talks about that, but it's like this is part of that where you can choose, like you said, Carrie, you have a choice. Do you want to just go fishing in the afterlife and be with all your family? Or do you want to go higher, back to source or back to a higher level? So I love
Right,
this work for that, even though I just said I'm not that interested in ascension. I am, but I mean, for me, it's about evolving, growing, being the best me, being of help, but also enjoying this 3D reality while I'm here, not being mired in
right,
the material, but
right,
we have these avatars we get to walk around in. How wonderful to experience love, passion, things, fun, but also better ourselves and help others feel better, right? So,
right.
anything else you'd like to share?
No, I don't. I think we covered everything. Again, there's so much more, to talk about in lecture or class or, on a personal one-to-one session, but I think we covered the general
Beautiful.
idea of it, and you're already seeing the effects just through the sample session and the no
Oh, I
touch.
know.
So,
I'm just glowing. Maybe not to the audience, but to me in my world, I'm glowing. But how can people reach you?
well, we can post in the chat. I do have an email. It's my name, Carrie Lynn Medvecky at Gmail. There's a phone number there. So you can call or text. I do have an appointment calendar that we can post in the chat. Not a personal website. Marconics.com is a general website for all of us. There's also a Facebook page. You can start reading some of our canon and the posts put out there. So, it's okay to do your own research too, and then contact me and we can talk personally one-on-one and get the energy flowing.
That's
Um,
fabulous. I love it. Well,
the
thank you so
classes are
much.
posted online too.
Yeah, thank you so much. I'll get all your details and I'll put it in the description of the video when we post it. Well, thank you so much for being here with us today. Well, me
Thank
and us in
thank
virtual.
you. You can see how passionate I am about it. I
Yeah.
mean, it makes me giggle. So I just want to share it.
So that's excellent. So I'm going to stop the recording and we'll talk to the audience soon.